Ever wonder what does happiness mean in different cultures and places? Well, we are here to find this out today. Hello everyone, I'm your host Mark, and today we have a fascinating topic that I think we can all relate to, happiness. I am really excited to receive more information about this topic from people around the world. Today we are joined by 4 wonderful guests that are going to tell us what happiness means in their country. We have Luca from Italy, Aiko from Japan, Sara from Brazil, and Kofi from Ghana. All right, so as you can see, we've got a diverse group of people today. So, to kick things off, let's start with a very simple question. What does happiness mean to you in your culture? Luca, let's begin with you.
Well, in Italy, happiness is often associated with the enjoyment of life's simple pleasures. Good food, family, and friends. It's about savoring the moments that bring you joy. Whether it's a Sunday lunch with your family, enjoying a beautiful sunset, or sharing a laugh with your friends. It's less about material success and more about connection and experiences. In fact, the concept of la dolce vita, which means the sweet life, really captures the essence of how we see happiness. It's about living well and appreciating the good things in life.
That sounds wonderful, Luca. It seems like happiness in Italy is tied to relationships and the joy of daily life. Like it's something more about family. And Aiko, how about in Japan? Does your culture see happiness in a similar way?
In Japan, happiness is a bit more collective than individual. There's a strong cultural focus on harmony, or what we call wa. Happiness for many Japanese people is not just about personal joy, but about contributing to the well-being of others and maintaining peace within the family, workplace, or community. This can sometimes mean sacrificing personal desires for the greater good. Japanese people tend to avoid expressing extreme emotions, whether joy or sadness, in public, so happiness is often more understated. We also place value on finding contentment in the small, everyday moments, like enjoying a quiet tea ceremony or seeing a beautiful garden, cleaning the house and other staff.
Aha, now I get it. So it is balance and harmony rather than searching for great moments of happiness. I think that might be a reason why so many Japanese people are happy. They are determined and happy with what they have in their life, whether it's less or a lot. That is quite interesting, Aiko. Now let's move on and listen to Sara from Brazil. Sara, how do Brazilians define happiness? Or how do Brazilians see happiness?
In Brazil, happy moments are almost positive energy, celebration, and the gathering of people. We like being around people, dancing, having fun, especially during festivals like Carnival. But beyond the parties and music, there's a deep value in friendship and family. A key part of Brazilian happiness is feeling a sense of belonging and connection to others. We say in Brazil, felicidade é estado de espírito, which translates to happiness is a state of mind. It doesn't matter what kind of difficulties you face. It is always good to keep your spirits up and smile at the people around you. We think joy can be in the simple acts of human connections, whether that's in the form of a warm hug or sharing a meal.
Fantastic. I love that idea, Sara. Finding happiness in connection and community. And it seems like happiness in Brazil can be both energetic and grounded in relationships. I kind of get the idea that it's somehow related to Italians. Kofi, I'm curious, what about in Ghana? How do people in Ghana view happiness?
In Ghana, happiness is deeply linked to our sense of community, family, and spirituality. We value strong relationships with others, and happiness is often seen as something that is shared. It's also important to mention that in many parts of Ghana, there is a strong connection between happiness and gratitude. People are taught to be thankful for what they have, even if it's not much. We believe that if you're grateful for the little things, happiness will naturally follow. Also, spiritual practices play a big role in how we view happiness. Praying, giving thanks, and living a good life according to our values are seen as key elements of happiness. It's less about material wealth and more about living a life that is fulfilling on a spiritual and relational level.
That's really profound, Kofi. It sounds like happiness in Ghana is closely tied to gratitude and spirituality, which brings a sense of contentment. So, to wrap up our conversation, let me ask each of you this. Do you think that happiness is universal, or is it something that's completely shaped by cultural influences? Luca, what do you think?
I think happiness is universal in that we all want it, but the way we define it and express it is definitely shaped by culture. For Italians, it's about family, food, and good times, but I'm sure other cultures find happiness in different ways. There are much more similarities too.
I agree. While the underlying desire for happiness is universal, the path to it and the things that bring joy can vary a lot based on cultural values, like harmony in Japan or community in Ghana.
Exactly. And in Brazil, we believe that happiness can be found through connection, celebration, and gratitude. It's different, but the core idea, finding joy in life, is something we all share.
Yes, happiness is deeply personal, but it's also shaped by the values of our culture. In Ghana, we emphasize gratitude, community, and spirituality, which might be different from other cultures. But I think everyone can agree that happiness is about being content with what you have and sharing it with others.
I couldn't have said it better myself. It's amazing how, even though happiness might be expressed differently, it's something that transcends cultures. It's about finding joy in the little things, being grateful, and sharing that joy with others. Before we wrap up, I'd like to add a perspective from the United States as well. While I'm hosting today, I think it's important to touch on how happiness is viewed in my own culture. In the US, happiness often is associated with personal freedom, success, and the concept of the American dream. Individuals in the United States often equate happiness as the fulfillment of one's aims, be it within a career field, financial aspect, or the betterment of oneself. In the US, there's a great emphasis on individualism. Many view happiness as something pursued actively through perseverance and hard work. That said, there is also a growing awareness of the importance of mental health, relationships, and work-life balance. While personal success is still a big part of the American idea of happiness, more and more people are realizing that happiness can also come from connecting with others and finding inner peace. So, while the American view of happiness is often about individual achievement, it's evolving to also recognize the value of relationships and well-being. It's an interesting mix, and like you all shared, happiness is both personal and cultural. Thank you so much to my wonderful guests, Luca, Aiko, Sara, and Kofi, for joining me today and sharing these incredible insights. And thank you all for listening. I hope that this discussion will have made happiness fresh, and even perhaps inspired to question what is the meaning of happiness for you. Keep searching and reaching for that inner joy on your own way forward. See you next time. Goodbye. Harmony. The combination of different musical notes or elements that are pleasing when heard together, or a state of balance and agreement. Example, the orchestra played in perfect harmony, creating a beautiful and soothing sound. Transcend. To go beyond the limits of something, especially in terms of understanding or experience. Example, the beauty of the landscape transcends any words I could use to describe it. Gratitude, the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. Example, she expressed her gratitude by sending a thank you note after the event. Contentment, a state of happiness and satisfaction. Example, after years of struggling, he finally found contentment in his new job. Individualism, a social theory advocating the liberty, rights, or independent action of the individual. Example, the rise of individualism in the workplace has led to more competitive and self-focused work environments. Emphasize, to give special importance or attention to something in speaking or writing. Example, the teacher emphasized the importance of reading every day to improve vocabulary. Understated, presented or expressed in a subtle, restrained, or unpretentious way, not exaggerated. Example, the designer's outfit was understated, with simple lines and neutral colors, yet it exuded elegance. Evolving, developing gradually, especially from a simple to a more complex form. Example, the company's strategies are constantly evolving to keep up with technological advances. Sacrificing, giving up something valued for the sake of something else considered more important or worthy. Example, he was willing to sacrifice his free time to help his friend move into their new apartment. Influence. The capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something. Example, his childhood experiences had a lasting influence on his decision to pursue a career in medicine.